Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to tonight's Facebook Live. Those of you that have read this up already. Hi Claire, how you doing? Thank you for coming on. We're going to do a little bit of tips and advice for everyone taking up this Tuesday challenge of having no sugar. So everyone that doesn't know me, basically my name's Chris. And I teach people how to overcome, she says, no noise. So let me just check something. So it might just be the beginning. So let's just keep going for the moment. Claire says she can't hear, no noise. Let's see if someone else comes on. So if you can't hear me, if you just, I don't want to just delete it. If there's anyone that can hear me, just come back on. Let me just see if I can change something. So Joni says she can hear. So Joni says she can hear. So it must be you, Claire. So whatever's happening, it must be your end. So hi everyone. So I hope everyone's getting ready. Look, we've got Tracy listening from Spain. So we've got Joni in Canada. So we're proper international. We're doing international Facebook. It's brilliant. So I hope you're having a good time over in Spain. Tracy, hope you're going to join us on Tuesday with no sugar. Claire says it must be a phone, so she's going to leave and come back. We've got the amazing Rodney Stone. He's going to be covering me on Wednesday whilst I'm over in the in Brussels in the European Union. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. But what I want tonight to be, I want you to put your questions up. Those of you that are taking part in the Tuesday's addiction, not addiction, is it? Tuesday's no sugar day. So we're not going to consume anything that contains, I've got a list here of 60 plus different names of refined sugars. So what you've got to do is do your homework, print this off, and then you have to just check the foods that you're eating on Tuesday. So whether it's food or whether it's drink, if it contains any kind of sugar, right, it's a big no-no. And what we're going to see is how many can actually do this. So we've got Jim Brown on. How you doing, Jim? There's Gwen. How you doing, Gwen? I just sent you a little friend request. Hope you're all doing good. So we got the first question. So let's just do these questions. So if you're joining us on Tuesday, that's Tuesday, I forget the date, it's the 5th. Tuesday, the 5th of September, we're going to be doing a sugar-free day. So we're not going to consume any kind of sugars, refined sugars, honeys, glucose, anything that contains, and that includes alcohol, by the way. So no, it's not, wasn't a no alcohol, but alcohol contains so much sugar. So see if we can do a 24 hours. So hi Jody, I just see you put a message up. Hello Ian, yeah, give us a call, Ian, not now, but you can call me later or tomorrow. I know we was going to have a chat. So this is our first question. She said, I'm just wondering what other people were planning to eat for their 3 meals that day. I want to make it nice and simple. So little tips. This is a little tip for you, Claire. If you find something that's only got one ingredient in it, so any foods that contain one ingredient, then I would say that 99% of the time that is a good one to eat. But I leave you to work that one out. So whatever food has just got one ingredient in it, that's a good one. So there's Jody. She's saying, how you doing, Jody? Hope you have a good trip. I can't wait. This is the trip on Wednesday. I'm actually going to talk over in the European Union. So I've been invited to take part in a press conference to talk about the dangers of sugar in our food, in our diet, the addictive nature of food. We're actually going to be talking to like parliamentaries and all the big supermarkets and the food companies all coming together to do a massive debate. And it's just a real honour to be part of that. But because I'm going, I've got people covering my help and support workshop. So we've got the amazing Rodney Stone. My friend Dean is going to be in, and so is my good friend Andy. So everyone coming on the Wednesday, please still come, because you're going to get it's an excellent time when I'm not there, because people come in and they share their stories and they share how they got out. But what I want to do here tonight, I just want to share some tips with you. So if you're taking part in this challenge, please put up any concerns you have. So just like Claire, she's asking, what 3 meals? What are you gonna swap that you're not going to have your normal food diet? So what do you normally eat? So if you want to put up what you actually normally eat, and also what I'm doing today. So it's up to you, but I can bring people on live, okay? So you can come and join me on this broadcast. But what you need is you're going to need Google Chrome on your laptop, or whatever, because that's how you get through into this live. So if you've got Google Chrome and you want to come and join me live, and for everyone that joins me live, I'm going to give you a free ticket to my London seminar, which is happening on Sunday the 17th of September, which is all about sugar. It's all about food, natural food, making the right choices and learning the very latest in science. So if you want to join me, then just message here, and then I'll go and send you a link through Messenger, and then you can just click on and you can come live, and we'll just do a live debate. Other than that, please put your questions up. And if you put your questions, so let me just go. So Jamie says, we got Jason on. How you doing, Jason? Thank you, Jamie, for coming on. Jamie says, I don't have 3 meals a day. So you don't have to consume 3 meals a day, okay? What we're doing is making sure that on Tuesday that you do not consume any refined sugars. So, and if you don't know what refined sugars are, right, this is it. I posted the list a couple of days ago, but I will repost it after this, okay? There is 60 plus different names of sugar. So whether you knew this or not, but these are 60 plus different names, because these sugars are hidden in your food chain. The reason they're hidden in your food chain is the food companies want you to create a want and a need for their products. They know that when they put sugar into their food, you're going to get chemical release. You're going to get a chemical release called dopamine. Dopamine is a pleasure chemical that creates pleasure in the mind, which creates pleasure in the body. And when you tick a box that says that the food that you're consuming is pleasure, then you create a want and a need for it. Now that all sounds brilliant, doesn't it? Because we all know that eating chocolate, crisps, biscuits, cakes, puddings, ice creams, it's the best in the world, isn't it? It's our pleasure, it's our, it's everything, isn't it? But, and this is the big but, it is a poison, and it is poisoning our body, and we didn't know. We've been consuming this stuff for years and years and years, and thinking, yeah, it's good for us, it's good to give to our kids and all of that. But the truth is, right, refined sugars are a poison to our body. The reason they're a poison to our body is because when they go in, right, we can't consume refined sugars properly. So we have an organ called the pancreas, which pumps in insulin to try and get rid of the sugar. The insulin grabs hold of the sugar, but because it can't do anything other than turn it into fat, and that's exactly what it does. As you consume a spoonful of sugar, it then goes into our digestive system, but before it does that, it gets turned into fat, and then we store it around the body, and then of course it's very, very difficult to burn off the fat. This is why we have an obesity problem. This is why we have type 2 diabetes. And these are the dangers that we need to understand. It is also one of the causes, not the direct cause, but it's one of the causes to food disorders. So if you know anyone that's ever suffered with anorexia or bulimia or something like that, even though anorexia is not technically due to refined sugars, but it all is part of this food chain. It's all part of this want or this need or this mental health that we've got around different foods. So let me just put this in. So Jamie says, I don't hardly eat crisps, chocolate or sweets. So tell us, Jamie, what do you eat, and what are you overeating with, or what are you consuming that you want to stop? Because the other thing is, if you don't have a problem with food, then technically you don't have to stop. But if you want to find out whether you've got a problem with food, then what you need to do is take up this challenge, okay? Because when you take up this challenge on Tuesday, when you take up this challenge on Tuesday, you are going to find out something different. Everyone that's been brave enough to agree to do this challenge, okay, you are going to find out something different, something that you never knew, okay? And that is what we call the addictive side to food. Because if you stop consuming something, there's no reason why you need to suffer, is there? You know, if I eat some apples one day and then the next day I say, do you know what, I'm just not going to eat any more apples, I'm never going to get like a want and a need inside me. I'm never going to have anxiety and stress and fear because I'm not consuming apples, okay? That just doesn't happen. But, you know, if one day I'm eating chocolate and crisps and biscuits and cakes, and then the next day I say, well, I'm just not going to eat them, I'm not going to have anything that contains sugar, then all of a sudden you are going to find that you've got anxiety, you've got a bit of stress, you've got a bit of fear. All of a sudden you've got something missing inside of you, okay? What that is, and for everyone that's going to take up this challenge, you are going to experience this. You are going to experience for the very first time in your life that there is an addictive side to food, and you just did not know it. And the reason you didn't know it is because you've never questioned it. You've never actually said, you know what, I'm just not going to have this food. I mean, everyone's been on a diet. We all understand, you know, diet and how that makes you feel and stuff. But this is different, okay? This isn't a diet. This isn't, you know, I need to lose weight. I mean, you know, we all need to lose weight. But what this is, what this challenge is going to show is the addictive side of food. And for a lot of people, it's going to be a little bit of a shock, because for the very first time, you are going to realize that your mind and your body are working independently to you. So there's you consciously making a decision, which is a really good decision. Right, I'm not going to have all these sugary foods or drinks today, but your mind and body are going to start to punish you. And your mind and body will start to punish you with anxiety and stress and fear and that, oh, I'm not feeling too good, what's wrong with me? You're going to be a little bit barky at people. You're going to, you know, all of a sudden you're going to say something to someone and you're thinking, oh my God, like, what's wrong with me? But you are going to know what's wrong with you because you made one decision for one day, and that was not to consume any sugar. And so it's going to be really exciting. I'm really, really excited about everybody putting up their messages. You know, we're going to follow people all day. You know, what food choices are people doing? What are we, you know, if you go into not a supermarket, if you go into a petrol garage these days, and if you have a little walk around and say, right, I can't have any sugar whatsoever, and you walk around, you know, that's no crisps, no biscuits, no chocolate, no, you know, walk around, the petrol station. It's very hard to find anything that doesn't contain sugar, unless these are like the supermarket ones. But, you know, if you just think of a normal petrol station, it's very, very hard to find foods without sugar. I mean, the best thing that you can find is a banana. Sometimes they have a banana or an apple on the till, or you can get a bottle of water. But other than that, it's very, very difficult. But things are changing. So those of you that know, there are like these sugar-free bars that you can get. They're made of dates and fruit and stuff. So there are alternatives. So everyone that's actually considering making a life change and not having sugars, then, you know, please get in touch with us, because there is a way that you can live, you know, perfectly happy and consume all of the foods that you want, not what you're being told to want. And that's the other thing that you're going to find. See, we have a lot of advertising aimed at us, don't we? So we're getting hit from this side with the advertising telling us to buy their food, but at the same time we're getting hit by, you know, by wants and needs inside of us to buy these foods. And so there's us in the middle, you know, thinking we just want to do the right thing, we just want to just get on with life and be happy, but we're being hit on two sides. And, you know, no wonder it's difficult for people even to make a decision to start this challenge. You know, you would have to overcome a lot of procrastination. You've got to overcome a lot of fear, even to say, yeah, I'll go in for this challenge. I think we've had over something like 100, maybe even 150 people say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this challenge. Okay. I bet more than half won't even take up the challenge, but we'll see. Let's just see what happens. I want to be positive around it. So I know a few of you have been putting some questions up, so let me just come back down and just answer a few of your questions. So we've got Wendy. Wendy says, what about the sugar in apples and all fruit? It's a really, really good question. So thank you for putting it up, Wendy. So what we have, we've got fructose. So those of you that know what fructose is the natural sugar that is contained in fruit. Now, when you eat fruit, there is nothing wrong with eating fruit as long as you consume it in its natural form. So if you're having an apple, you eat the apple. If you're having a banana, you eat the banana. See, what you have to understand is when you eat fruit, okay, in its natural form, it comes with fiber. And okay, so when you digest the apple, you're digesting the fiber and the sugars, and because of the fiber and the sugars, it takes much longer to consume. So our body can cope with consuming it, okay, and it gives off, energy. But when we take it out of its natural form, when we squeeze out the juice, when we process it, when we bottle it, and all of that, basically what you're left with is just the pure fructose. Now, fructose on its own is dangerous because it's high-level sugar. So when you put these high-level sugars into your system, of course, your body cannot cope. And when your body can't cope, again, it's pumping in the insulin to try and get rid of the sugar. Again, it's turning that sugar into fat because that's all it can do, is storing it around the body. So this is why we're getting fat cells. This is why our organs are blocking up. We put on weight, and we also, get type 2 diabetes. I'm not saying it's the only reason why we get type 2 diabetes, but you have to understand, don't take stuff out of its natural form. If you're going to have sugars, it's fine. If you're eating or drinking products that says fructose, then be aware, because on this list is fructose. Yeah. So basically, what that means is it's bad for you. Eating fruit is good for you. So you have to understand the difference. Okay, but a lot of the messaging is very, very cloudy. So you have to learn or try to understand what's going on. I'm just going to put this message up, so hopefully that's okay, Wendy. So evening, I follow Slimming World with lots of fresh cooked produce. I do have sugar on my Weetabix, but happy to use bananas. So 100%, Nikki, if you can do that sugar swap, if you can change from sprinkling your sugar on to just putting a banana over, you're doing a massive, massive favor to yourself. And also what you're doing is you're getting rid of the addictive side of sugar. So we're going to be dealing with the addictive side, but I think we need to get this challenge over for people to actually, realize it, to experience what addiction is. Most people haven't even got a clue what is addiction. I haven't got an addiction. Have you got an addiction? I haven't got an addiction. There's nothing wrong with me. But the truth is we are all experiencing addiction. Every single one of us. There's not one person out there that isn't, experiencing some sort of addiction, whether it's around food, whether it's around drinking, whether it's around drugs, whether it's around activities. I was speaking to someone today. She said, I can't stop buying bags and shoes and stuff. Well, guess what? That is an addiction. It can be a good addiction, but it's still an addiction. And of course, that addiction can get out of hand. We start spending money, getting into debt. It starts to cause life problems, relationship problems, job problems. So we have to look at the wider picture. So I don't want anyone to be afraid of that word, addiction. Addiction is just a natural thing. We're programmed to seek out pleasure. We're programmed for happiness. We're programmed to go and do joyful things. But of course, once we do something that's good, our brain ticks the box. It says, yeah, that product's good. That chocolate bar's lovely, But the problem is when we start putting on the pounds, we've done it for a few years and now we're, whatever, we're a lot bigger than what we want to be. You then realize there's a problem. But guess what? Your mind doesn't see it as a problem. Your mind's still saying, consume that chocolate bar, consume that chocolate bar. So the mind isn't going to give you the answer here. If you want to understand the truth about sugar, or your consumption of drinks and whatever, then you consciously have got to find it out yourself. Your mind is going to procrastinate. Everybody on here, your minds are procrastinating because you're thinking, I don't have a problem. I could do this with my hands, tired. It's not a problem. But, doing it is a completely different thing. So if you're watching this tonight and you're not on this challenge on Tuesday, then please get on this challenge. You don't have to sign up anywhere. Just follow follow this Facebook. We're going to be putting up more tips and advice. But on Tuesday for 24 hours. So that's from 12 o'clock, Monday night, 12 o'clock, right the way through till 12 o'clock Tuesday night, no sugar. So but you're going to have to follow this plan to work it out. So I know we've got lots more questions coming up. I'm just going to speak to Jamie. So Jamie says, I had breakfast in the morning and just dinner, and that's because what's that? So I can't, do you know what? I'm going to need glasses soon. So it says, I had breakfast in the morning and just dinner. That's it, because I'm on Ensure Plus drinks. So you must be taking some protein drinks and that, so that's fine. Again, Jamie, if you don't have a problem, there's nothing that you need to do. The only problem with those protein drinks is they contain a lot of sugar. So please read the labelling, understand what it is. I know that you can stabilise weight that way, but I think it does come with a lot of health risks. I'm not an expert in all of those protein drinks. What I'm here to do is educate people around the foods that we're consuming. So if you're doing something that's right, you don't have to change, okay? So Tracy says, if I was home on Tuesday, I would have taken that challenge, but I'm not going to do the last day of my holiday without ice cream. So what you've just done now is you procrastinated, Tracy. You've been eating ice cream all week and it hasn't been a problem. All you got to do is take one day, join this challenge, okay, and see how addictive this food is. Now, I can't force anyone to do this, but I had someone in America say to me, I'm on holiday in America, there's no way I'm going to do this. What we're doing is we're procrastinating, okay? Your mind, whether you know this or not, your mind is controlling you. Your mind is sending you messages, and the mind is saying, we're on holiday. Without ice cream, it's going to ruin the whole holiday. What a disaster. On the last day, we couldn't have an ice cream. My suggestion is, Tracy, have 10 ice creams tomorrow and have none on the Tuesday. What is stopping you? See, everyone is procrastinating. No one wants to do this because we live in fear. We live in fear, and no one wants to actually believe that we're being controlled. Yes, we believe that the advertising companies and the food companies, yeah, it's really bad, the advertising, but the control is here. Your mind is controlling you. Your mind is telling you when to eat. It's telling you when to sleep. It's telling you what to drink. It's telling you all of these things. And no one knew. No one was being told. I spent 20 years not knowing. It was like my whole life no one ever told me. I had to work it out for myself. You don't have to work it out for yourself because I'm giving you the solution. Well, at the moment, I'm giving you a challenge. But on top of that, there is a solution if you want it. So Tracy, we're friends. Don't hate me, okay? But you can do this, and no one has to know that you're doing it. This is something that you're doing on your own with no one else. And so just try it. That's what we're doing. So Elaine said, it's the last day of my holiday too on Tuesday. So we've got another one. It doesn't matter, does it? Feed up tomorrow. Take your last ice cream, take your last beer, take your last glass of wine, okay? It's one day. It's one day out of your life, okay? If you can't do it tomorrow or Tuesday, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it Wednesday or Thursday or Friday? We're never going to do it. We sit and we go, oh, it's a really good idea, but we just keep saying but, because the mind's thinking like overdrive. How can we get out of this? What excuse can we use? We're not going to do it. So I'm just going to put this message up. So Jamie's saying she's got a thyroid problem. I know we spoke about this before. So if you've got any health conditions or anything, please don't try this. You know, just everyone needs to use a bit of common sense. I know we're only talking about food, and you know, if you're as a diabetic, you know, you're 100%. If your insulin was down, you would need to consume sugar. So there should be a health warning with this, isn't it? So I'm doing that now. Health warning. If you've got any concerns about your health, this is definitely a get out clause. If you've got diabetes or anything, or low insulin, please carry sugar and consume sugar whenever you need it. So yeah, no problem, Jamie. So I'm just going to put this next one up. So Michaela Robinson, she says, what if you blend fruit in its natural form into a smoothie? I often make smoothies. So technically, when you're doing that all at the same time, everything is there, isn't it? The fibre hasn't gone because you're putting the skin in, you're not cutting it down. So you know, if you're doing it naturally, you know, in a blender in front of you, then that's fine, okay? You know, all I would say is don't consume too much of it, okay? Because if you think I'm going to put 5 apples and 4 oranges, and you know, we would never actually be able to consume that amount of fruit. So don't OD on it. This is a little story for you. I actually went on a juicing course for the weekend. There's someone really famous who does it. I won't say their name. But I went all weekend and it was teaching us how to juice, and I consumed so much juice, I actually poisoned my body. You know, driving home, it was a really, really bad stomach ache. When I got home, I had stomach cramps. I was literally rolled up in pain. I damaged all my internal stomach lining. I was sick. I was ill for like a week, 10 days. It was, you know, like the worst flu, you know. So just let that be a warning. I'm not telling people not to juice. You know, juicing is fine, but you know, please do it on use common sense. Don't consume tons of it, because our body's not used to consuming all of that sugar, even if it's, you know, sugar with fiber. You know, when you're drinking like big amounts of it, I promise you it's not good. And you know, I've experienced something really bad through it. You know, I will still juice now, but I'm very conscious of, you know, when we're juicing, we put at least 50% greens. So that could be kale or spinach, or, you know, let it be 50% green and 50% fruit. And then you've got that mix of fruit and fibre and sugar, but just don't consume a lot of it. So that's the best, you know, but again, I'm not the expert. I'm not a nutritionist. You know, please don't get me mixed up with a proper nutritionist. There's lots of nutritionists that I'm connected to, and we will get nutritionists on maybe after, or maybe I'll get a nutritionist on for Tuesday, so just to help people along. But it's going to be tough. Everyone that I want you to know that it's going to be tough. This isn't going to be an easy ride, as everyone thinks. Everyone's thinking, oh, it's easy, I can do no sugar for 24 hours. But I want you to watch your emotions and your feelings. What is happening inside of you? What is your mood change? What is your thought processes? Are you going to have a good day? Are you going to have a bad day? I don't know. We got to find out. So Lynn Marie Jackson might like to watch, so thank you for that. We got the amazing Daniel Roberts, who's coming here to perform one of his amazing concerts. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Okay, so Elaine says, if you blend fruit, I think it changes, Chris. So again, look, all I'm saying is just use common sense. If you're putting, fruit contains fiber, just because you've juiced it, it doesn't, as long as it's fresh in front of you. If you're buying processed or stuff that's bottled in the shop, trust me, it's just going to be sugar. If you're doing it naturally, that juicing is fine, but just use it in the right way. And the best way that I've found is 50% greens, 50% fruit. It's going to be absolutely fine for you. Please don't worry, okay? Next question is Michaela. She says, Elaine, I know Slimming World say not to blend your fruit. I would disagree entirely. If you want to do blending, there's nothing wrong with blending, but just don't consume a lot. It's just common sense. I don't know what else to say. Having a juice every morning is fine. If that's your breakfast, you're going to get your nutrients, you're going to get your fiber, you're going to get your sugars. It's fine. This is what we're talking about, and this is really, really important. Let's not get away from what we're trying to what we're trying to do here. We're talking about refined sugars that are put into our food chains, okay? 80% of everything you consume, whether it's food or drink, it contains these dangerous sugars. These 60 plus names are contained in everything that you're buying and consuming. There's 60 plus different names. It's hidden in the food that we are eating. It is dangerous for us. I'm not saying for everyone just to stop. At the minute it's almost not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. But what I want to do is educate everyone, at least have the education, at least have the knowledge, because we've all got kids, we've all got family, we've all got friends. Yeah, where do you think like these cancers come from? Where do you think, these diabetes come from? Where do you think, all of these just, some really horrible things? Have you ever watched these programs where, food can cure cancer? This not made up, this stuff. This stuff is real. Do you know what increases cancer cells? Is sugar. Just Google it. Google some of the things that sugar causes. We're almost frightened to do it, aren't we? We're almost frightened to go, let's have a Google and find out some of these things. But, a lot of us are just too frightened to do it. So, Claire Price, she says the summer holidays have really thrown me. Can't wait to get back into a good routine with eating. Well, I memean, that is like everybody. We go on holiday, we say, we've worked all year. This is our 2-week break. I'm going to drink, I'm going to eat, I'm going to, I'm really going to enjoy myself. And that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you've got a problem around it, or if you see that there's a problem, then you can make a different choice. Everyone believes if you don't consume sugar, your life is going to be miserable. That is a lie, as long as you understand how to get rid of it, okay? If you don't understand, I run a 7-day beat addiction plan, which would help or, solve if you've got an issue with food, it will solve that problem, okay? But if you don't use these methods, or something similar, what you're using is willpower. And anyone that's ever been on a diet, anyone that's ever tried to stop something, you will know how difficult willpower is. And it doesn't matter how big or strong, willpower is not strong enough to overcome the mind. And the only way it would overcome the mind is if you created so much fear around the thing that you're stopping that you would make the mind fearful. But if you make the mind fearful of the thing that you stop, then you can't be around people that are consuming chocolate or consuming cakes, or, you become fearful. And that is the last thing that I want anyone to be doing. So if you're ever going to think about stopping, please get in touch with me. Please, if you've got any concerns, please come to my sugar addiction seminar in September the 17th on a Sunday. So hopefully there's no excuses for people, but do you want the truth? Do you really want to know what's happening? I've been sharing this message around addiction, around smoking, drinking, drugs for about 1.5 years. People are getting the message. It's not a stigma anymore to talk about it. We have 30 plus people sit in a room every single week, new people. This is not even the same people. New people coming in, wanting to understand the truth. We're doing exactly the same for the food now. We're going to teach people the dangers of sugar, because you're not going to get it from the government, from the television, from the news, from the doctors, from whoever you're looking at. they just don't seem to understand this stuff. So it has to take someone like me or someone like you to come out and do the Facebook Lives, you know, share a story. You know, we've got a private Facebook group just for food. We've got people, brave people coming on and sharing their stories, because we're not prepared to stand for this anymore. We're not prepared to allow ourselves to poison ourselves, because that's what we're doing, you know, putting on weight, you know, getting health problems, you know, feeding our kids. Like, how many kids have we got that are overweight, that, you know, shouldn't be overweight? You know, I know our kids are not active because they're all on, you know, YouTube and PlayStations and stuff, but we can still do our bit, can't we? We can still do our bit as adults. You know, and I don't pretend that, you know, Archie's sitting there and he has no sugar, but what we try and do is educate. We educate, you know, to show the dangers so that you give somebody a choice. You know, me and Karen, we're both like vegetarian, but Archie isn't, you know, because we don't want to force anything onto him, because, you know, that might affect him later on in life. You know, and I don't really technically want to stop him consuming sugar, because if he has to go to a kid's party on that, and, you know, they're all having cake and he can't have his cake or ice cream or jelly and ice cream, you know, that's going to make him stand out, isn't it? You know, so this isn't to force people to stop, but this is to educate. And if you can educate yourself as an adult, then you can educate your children. And then hopefully when they get to that age, when they want to make their own life choices, that they will start to make the right choices. You know, none of us want our kids to be obese. None of us want our kids to have health problems. You know, we definitely don't want our kids addicted to drugs, you know, but it's all of the same thing. The messaging that I teach is exactly the same thing. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to educate. You know, if I have to educate you, you have to educate yourself, then we can educate others. I know it's a bit of a, you know, a rigmarole, whatever you want to call it, but how else are we going to do this? How else are we going to share this message? So thank you for that, Claire. Caleb Robinson says, same here, Elaine, as you turn vegetables into soup, so not in its natural form. Guess the veg don't have sugar. So vegetables definitely have sugar. So there is sugar in vegetables, just so that you know. Look, when you cook stuff, we know it takes the nutrients out. If you're juicing stuff, yeah, the nutrients are still there. As long as you consume it straight away, you know. So all of these people that you've got a negative view about, you know, juicing and stuff, stop. You know, as long as you're doing it, as long as you're naturally doing it, it's fine. You know, what people are doing is trying to distract you from follow this. You know, that's what they're doing. You know, Slimming World, only follow us. If you don't follow us, you're not going to be, yeah, it's all going to go wrong. You know, that's the pull, isn't it? You know, they've got to keep you coming back to Slimming World, because that's how they make money, isn't it? So, you know, you have to look at the bigger picture. You know, do your own research. If someone says to you something that you're, I'm not sure, go and research it. You know, you can put any question in Google, it's going to give you the answer, or give you 100 answers, and you work it out. But, you know, don't take what just one person is saying. You know, don't even take what I'm saying. I'm just like, you know, it's true. Question everything. Questions people's motives as well, why they're doing certain things. It's, you know, it's good. So I'm just going to put this message up. So Therese says, I tried to buy things without sugar today, really struggled, just bought a ton of fruit and no dinners. Kids are in for a surprise. So, but this is fun, isn't it? It's fun because we're, you know, if 80% of all the food you eat contains sugar, what are we going to eat? What are we going to eat? I mean, for me, it's really, really simple. You eat fruit, you eat vegetables, you eat anything that's got one ingredient. You know, you eat meat, you eat fish. You know, whatever you want to consume, if it's got one ingredient, it's good for you. But you look at food packaging; it's got like 100 different ingredients. It's like you're like, what's going on, and why has it got 100 different ingredients? So. We've got Sophie. She says she's still doing it. So whether, Sophie, you're already on this sugar-free plan, it's brilliant. You know, keep it up. Anyone that's doing this, I'm really, really are proud of everybody. So Tracy says I'm about 100 messages behind, so big apologies. Tracy says she's only had one since being there. We'll have one tomorrow and none on Tuesday, and don't think it's going to ruin your holiday. You've had an amazing holiday. I've seen some pictures. You just keep going, Tracy. You're doing good, you know, and I'm really proud of you going out there. It's brilliant. So Elaine says, I can do it when I get back, Lowell. It wouldn't be difficult, Chris. I just drink water all day. Ha, ha, ha. I'd be too scared to be eating the wrong thing and had sugar. I'd be saying to you, Elaine, do it on Tuesday. Don't procrastinate. You can do it. Every single one. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. It's just one day. One day. I just want to show you the addictive nature of food. You know, don't be afraid of it, please. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Claire says, I think planning is key for this challenge. If I wake up on Tuesday with no plan of what to eat, then I know I will more likely eat something I'm not supposed to. So 100%, you've got 48 hours or 24 or no, you've got 20, I don't know, 20 something plus hours to prepare for Tuesday. Are you going to take part? That's the biggest question. Are you going to take part? So there's my friend Andy Selby. How you doing, my good friend? Let me just go for the next question. So we got Mark. So Mark says, Chris, there is no way I could give up sugar for a day. Good luck all. So look, there we go. Someone is being honest. Someone says there is no way in the world I'm going to give up sugar. Why? Because they don't want to feel bad. None of us want to feel that internal something's missing. You know, none of us were meant to feel this way. We were meant to feel good. And everyone knows that when you consume sugar, you're going to feel good. You're going to get the chemical release. You're going to feel a hunger feeling. You're just going to go, yeah, I feel good. But the problem is it doesn't last. And then within an hour or a couple of hours, you're left with that feeling again. And so what do you have to do? You have to consume again. And then, you know, we feel good for a moment, and then, you know, and then it's just this yo-yo, isn't it? We're just trying to get rid of these feelings that we're experiencing. But do you know what? It's the experience, you know, what your experience is the cause, or it's caused by the food that you're consuming. If you stop consuming the food, you wouldn't feel like it. And that is the trick. You know, if you can cut off the supply, if you can just untick that box of the food that you're not going to consume, you're going to feel good. I can't, you know, but until you actually experience it, it's really, really hard to show. So I'm just gonna try and get through these messages. So Kelly Robinson says, yes, I do mine in a blender, and I do juicing day once. And have the trot, so don't overdo it. So that's another thing that we have to look out for. Emma says, on day 4, no sugar. Beware of the power of the mind. Those doing the challenge. So that is excellent advice from Emma. She's on day 4 of having no sugar. So we've got people doing this challenge already before we start on Tuesday. So that is brilliant. And I just saw Therese. Therese just said juice is different to smoothies. So if you're buying orange juice or, you know, apple juice, and juices from shops, just trust me, it's just pure sugar. You're poisoning the body. The body can't cope with it. Just be aware. That's all I'm doing. So we got my friend Steve Cousins. He says, I'm doing my best. It's brilliant. I'm going to hopefully see you tomorrow if you're coming. Claire says, well done to Emma. So we have brilliant support base here. Michaela says, I don't juice, just throw everything in. To me, if juicing, you waste a lot. So as I say, jury, just let the jury be out. There's nothing wrong with juicing. I've had a really bad experience of juicing, but, you know, I was consuming juice for 2 days solid, and I just, and it made me very, very ill. So just be aware of that. But as long as you just try and do things, what's the word? just normally, yeah. Just don't overdo it. That's the thing. What's the difference between juicing and smoothing? So I don't know. There is, you know, if you blend something, is a little bit different than yeah. So if you're blending, you keep all the fibre and everything inside. If you're juicing, you're just taking the juice without the fibre. So that is the difference. So one, you are consuming a bit more sugar. You know, I'm a blender person, so we get the greens and we get the fruit, and to me that's the best way. Or if you've got a NutriBullet, like doing it that way is the best. Or you get juicers that, you know. So again, you do your homework around those things. But what we're doing is where we need to talk about the actual 80–90% of the actual food that we're consuming. So if you think about processed food, if you think about breads and all of that, they all contain sugar. I mean, if you look at like a normal white loaf, in one slice of bread, it contains something like, I don't know, a couple of grams, like 2 spoons, is it 2 grams? 2 grams of sugar in every slice. So those of you that have ever, you know, and hopefully you haven't, but those of you that know what cocaine is sold in, it's sold in 0.5 grams. Well, if you can imagine 2 grams of cocaine is contained in one slice of bread, you know, just swap that for sugar, because sugar is still a drug. There's masses amounts, isn't there? You know, and we need to think logically about this. So it's going to be no bread, you know, let's look at it. No chocolate, no crisps, no biscuits, no cakes, no sweets, no ice creams, no cheesecake, no bread. Oh my God, what are we going to eat? It's like everyone's going like, switch off. I'm not doing this. But just think about how much we're consuming. It's absolutely crazy. Sorry, I'm not getting through everyone's questions. That was just one from Emma. This one's from, so that was a good one from Therese. So Therese is just saying, juicing is where the pulp is extracted. Smoothies are fruit blended into a liquid. So Michaela says, don't buy the stuff in the shop as it costs twice as much. Joni says kale, celery, blueberries, water, awesome smoothie. So I would 100% agree. Claire says, wow, that's so good. You use self-talk. So we're going to talk about self-talk. I'm going to do a little Facebook Live on the Tuesday morning. So I'm going to do a little Facebook Live just to help you through. I don't want everyone suffering too badly. Jamie says, use what was naturally given to you and chew your fruit. So more good advice. Nikki says, Slimming will only say not to blend fruit for the reason Chris just said. You wouldn't consume 6 pieces of fruit at a time. 100%. If you can do, look, this is really, really important. If you can do a 50-50 with greens and fruit, you're never going to go wrong. You're never going to go wrong. So just don't consume like too much of it. So Therese says sugar blocks the protein that renews cells in so skin ages quicker. Only found out that week. So again, we need to everyone do their homework around what sugar is doing. Jamie says cancer cells thrive off sugar. So but there's lots of reports that will deny that. But you know, we the consumer we're the people that really need to go and find out the truth. Makeda says I need to do a list of sugars as I bought protein meal replacement is full of sugar. You don't have to do a list. I've done the list for you. The list is on my Facebook. I'll put this up at the end. So Joni says at least eat meat. Yeah, Archie. So it's up to you. Eating meat and not eating meat, that's just a lifestyle choice. I'm not saying anyone's got to be a vegetarian. So I still eat fish, so that makes me a pescatarian or something. So, but yeah, so it's up to you. They're just normal food choices. Gwen says, I will take part, but with a different addiction. So that's fine. Good on you. So we're inspiring people to do other things. Susan says, like you say, anything with one ingredient is good. How hard can it be just for one day? Let's find out. What's the worst thing? What's the worst thing that can happen to us if we take up this challenge? So it's really, really good. Tracy says, going to be hard for me, but I'm determined to do it for at least 24 hours. You can do this, right? You know, as long as you drink water, as long as you get something inside of you, okay, you're not going to die. None of you are going to die. This is just food, isn't it? It's food for one day, and we're not going to consume sugar. And don't forget, if you've got any health problems or diabetes or low insulin counts, you know, do not take part in this. Do not take part in this challenge. I may have to put a post up or something. So everything in moderation. So thank you, Jamie, 100%. But the only thing is, what we're doing is refined sugars. It's very, very difficult to have in moderation unless you've really got a tight, you know, a grip on this. But for a lot of people, they don't have a grip. And I've just seen this brown bread. So brown bread, as long as you read the ingredients, some brown bread does not have sugar. So if you can find the brown bread that doesn't have the sugar, then you can consume it. Okay. But for the majority of breads, it's a bit of a no-no. And we've got Georgie. She says, Chris, can you send across the sugar list? I'm determined to do this. So I will send it over to you, but I will also, I'll put it up on the back of this post. So look, we're almost at the end here. I don't know if you've got any more questions. I didn't have anyone come live. So if any of you were going to come live, I was going to give some tickets away. So what I might do is set another challenge or something tomorrow, because I'm going to give away some tickets for my sugar addiction and relationship with food summit, or a seminar that's happening on Sunday, the 17th of September. If you want to come, you know, we're doing tickets. They're just £29. They're on Eventbrite. Just private message me. But I will run some events over the next couple of days to get everyone going for this challenge. Yeah, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for everyone that's put up your comments. Thank you for everyone that shares my posts, because what we're doing is we're helping people. We're not just helping ourselves, but we're helping other people every time someone hits a share button. I know people are probably like sick of seeing, not Chris Hill, not again, not sugar. Why are we not talking about drink or drugs? I don't know. We're trying to make a difference in people's lives, okay? So if you want to watch, you can. If people don't want to watch, it's fine. You know, I get like a couple of deletes a day, but the thing is, when you get delete, you just accept another friend request, don't you? But when you've got 6,000 people now following, only like on the private one, because you're only allowed 5,000 people, but I've got almost 1,000 people now following, so you get 6,000 people. You know, it's always going to be, you know, some people come in and out and whatever. And I suppose if you're posting a lot, you know, some people just go, oh, I can't take it anymore. So it's fine, isn't it? So if anyone wants to delete, it's fine. I've got thousands of people waiting to come in. I'm sorry for the people that I don't accept their friend request. It's just I'm full up. So all you got to do is press follow. This is always open to everyone to watch anyway. Unless I forget to put it on a public thing, but generally everything is posted always. So Joni's saying, could she call after? It shouldn't be a problem. I've got some people so let me call you, Joni, but I know it's quite late or something. Elaine says you can only do one addiction at a time, I guess. 100% not. So what you just said there, if you've got more than one problem, you can tackle it at the same time. But if you've got a problem with one and you just think, oh, I should stop this one as well, then think again. Deal with the problem one first, but, you know, and wait for this one to become a problem. Or if you're desperate, even though this isn't a problem, you don't want it to become a problem, then you can do it at the same time. If you need any advice, you know, if it starts to get a bit complicated, what I'm teaching, please get in touch with me because I can help you. So anyone that wants help and advice, please just private message me. If you message me on Messenger, it's the most easiest way. Sometimes I miss so much on my timeline. There's like, if you've got 6,000 people posting, you can imagine how quick my timeline goes. So I miss lots of birthdays, lots of posts, lots of stuff that people are going on. There's nothing I can do about it. When you get this, like, I don't know, popular, whatever you want to call it, it's almost impossible to catch up with everyone. So apologies if anyone ever thinks I do. It's not ever intentional. I'm just trying to do the very best I can. So she says, okay, we'll do. Thanks. We'll talk when I get back. So look, that's it for now. Thank you so much. I really, really love doing these scopes for everyone. It's really, really good. Thank you for all of your support. I will be doing like a Facebook Live from the European Union when we're talking about sugar. So hopefully we can get some lives from the press release. There's also going to be another event coming up the week after at the Houses of Commons. So it's all go. And I really would love every one of you to come to my sugar addiction seminar. I promise it's going to change lives. If you really want to know, if you really want change in your life, or if you really want the answers that aren't being told, you know, out in public, you know, you're going to get the answers here. And we've got world-leading experts coming to talk. So if you haven't seen my post, we've got Ren Platins. She's the CEO of SugarWise, which is she's the science behind food labelling. They know what contains the good or the bad sugars. They're testing food all of the time. If the food hasn't got the right sugar in it, you know, it doesn't get the label. So, you know, you're gonna, and this is the very latest in the science around food. You know, we've got Deb O'Kelly. She's coming. She's that registered diabetic nurse. She's going to teach you about the early signs of diabetes. We've got the amazing Anna Garcia. Most of you will know her as the relationship coach. She's going to teach you about our relationship with food. And then we've got Denisa Retilia, and she is going to teach you about food. Okay, so it's going to be the most amazing day. Do you know what? I did put a post up saying I just don't know whether this would ever happen again when you get this caliber of people together, all in the same room on the same day, teaching the same subject to change people's lives. So if you can make it, please look for the links. I think there's a link with this video. Just click on the link. It's £29. We don't have that many tickets. So when they're gone, they're gone. And I just can't say when, if, you know, this exact seminar would happen again. And everyone is going to receive a sugar-free recipe book. You're going to receive my addiction plan. And you're going to get, we've got other giveaways and lots going on. So listen, thank you for everyone joining me. Really, really appreciate it. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday night. Have an amazing week to come. Lots going on. Good luck to everyone that's taking up this challenge. You're all amazing, you're all brilliant, and you're very brave to do this because you had to overcome your mind procrastinating, saying, we are not going to do this. So everyone that's doing it, you know, you've took a massive step forward to improving your life. So thank you again for everyone joining, and I'll see you all really, really soon. So I'll see you very, very shortly. Yeah, I'll either see you tomorrow or first thing Tuesday, but I'll be putting more posts up. So thanks again. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, Zoe. Thanks, Joni. Thank you for everyone. See you soon. See you. Bye.